ridiculous.
So another massive conversation people have been having in the past few weeks while we've been very busy, too busy to make a podcast,
Very busy.
has been the idea that loot boxes are gambling. A lot of politicians have been sort of putting their opinions forward and trying to make new legislation or whatever. And I'm not a gambler at all. I actually hate gambling in games. I completely... If there's like a slot machine mechanic in a game, I'm just like, no, turn it off immediately. But Josh, on the other hand, enjoys gambling quite a lot. So
Well, did I would say. I mean, I'm under no illusion that this is gambling as far as I'm concerned. 100% gambling.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting because gambling in gaming, I guess my first exposure to that would have actually been on RuneScape. A game that you probably everyone's probably fairly familiar with if you've played it or not. It was a huge MMORPG for quite a while. Still is, I guess.
Was this an early form of loot box in this?
No, it was actually it were the players that started doing it. So they were, you could get seeds that were very, very inexpensive. They cost nothing in the game basically, and you bought them with game money, not with real world money.
Sure.
And you would plant the seed and a flower would grow instantly, and there'd be different colour combinations.
Yeah.
Now somebody worked out what the odds of getting each colour were. So, blues were very common, blacks were very rare, etc. But they'd worked out how often it would come up.
Okay.
And so people started then taking advantage of this and playing the flower game. Yeah. So people would gamble.
Yeah.
On the outcome. So they trade you the money. Say I trade you 100,000 coins, and I say it's going to be blue. You offer me odds of 3-1. So if I win, I'll get 400,000 coins back. But if I lose all my money. But you know that the odds of it happening are actually much worse. So you're going to win every time in the long run, just like a casino does with roulette or anything like that. Yeah. And my brother actually was one of these people and ran pretty much the biggest clan in RuneScape doing this, and paid for a holiday to Malia with all of the real world money that he sold the money on the game for, because he accumulated so much, literally billions. Maxed out the coins and had to start keeping money in rare items because he couldn't keep any more coins.
So he had to like buy rare items.
Yeah,
so
with the money.
Get rid of the money.
Yeah, because he couldn't keep any more money. He'd maxed out the thing.
That's hilarious.
So really, really ridiculous and funny. But looking back at it, actually now it's quite a few years ago. It was obviously like no different whatsoever.
Yeah.
To a casino taking advantage of people and taking the money, but worse in a way, because most of the people playing the game would have been kids.
Yeah, and as a kid you would probably think that something like that is just completely random, like there's no odds of getting a certain thing over another, which is one of the reasons why it is such a big deal that these loot boxes are trying to worm the way into loads of games now. Yeah,
because it is without doubt gambling. Nobody, you don't hear anybody say, "Oh, I just love loot boxes. I don't really care whether I get anything good or not. It's about getting the box. That's what I love." It's like, no, the loving of it is in getting something that gives you an advantage in it.
Yeah.
You get something great and you're loving it. Can't believe how lucky you are. You get something shit and it's like, this is so shit. It's like, what have I just done? I've just wasted my pocket money. Like, and that is gambling all over, isn't it? There's no enjoyment in gambling other than winning. People enjoy that they've got something for nothing in effect, or something better than what they've put in. And this is going to be kids mainly exposed to this.
Yeah.
So I would like to see, and I don't really like politicians getting involved in stuff like this, to be honest, but I think the game industry needs to regulate itself on this and realise what they're doing, and maybe bring in some kind of, and I know people don't really pay attention to the ratings in games, but there's no they can do about that. At least they're gonna try. They should make it so that there's no random loot boxes in games under 18s.
I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because one of the problems I have with, as you say, these politicians getting involved is a lot of them, as we'll discover on another topic we've got today, assume that all games are for kids.
Yeah.
And in that sense, I have no problem whatsoever, in theory, with loot boxes or gambling in games or anything like that. As long as it's, transparent.
Yeah.
Same as a casino. You're going into a casino and it's gambling, and that's that.
Yeah, casinos actually have to put what the odds of you winning or losing are.
Exactly.
So they have leaflets all around the casino saying the odds of each game. So it'll say roulette pays out 35 to 1 on a number, but your chances of actually winning are 36 to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see black and white that it's the odds are against you, and then it's your choice if you want to carry on. They should do that.
Yeah.
They should say your chance of getting a rare loot is 1 in, chance of very rare 1 in.
Yeah.
And so you can clearly see, hang on a minute, like I've only got a 1 in 2,000 chance of even getting out decent. There's no point, because I'm never going to get out.
Yeah.
A lot of people playing the games will be kids, but a lot are also not. So I would say any game that is an under 18 should not have any of this content in there whatsoever.
That's a good rule, yeah. I'd say.
But then anything that's rated an 18, you would be considered old enough in the real world to make an informed decision on whether you want to do it or not.
Yeah.
So therefore in the games, you should be considered old enough to, if you want to spend your money, then, power to you.